So I've just mixed some Crystical R, and I'm going to pour some now. Crystical R is a very hard gypsum. It's several degrees of hardness up from plaster of Paris, and this is what I use in my indoor wall hangings, etc. You'll have to bear with me. I have a cold at the moment, so I'm talking through my nose, and my my brain is running slower than usual. So I'm just mixing this up now. I don't want it too watery, because then it won't set as hard as it should. And this stuff really does set hard. This stuff sets almost as hard as a ceramic clay. Crystical R. Previous to that, I was using Herculite. And when I started this hobby, originally I was using this casting powder. The Crystical R is obviously more expensive, but to my mind, it's worth it. Okay, it's worth it. So today we're going to be filling some green women, some small green men, some raven skulls, and this skull mold, or sorry, this Sun in Splendor mold. Now, I got this a long time ago from, I think it was Pacific Products or one of those. It's not a great mold, so I'm going to take one good casting from it, and I'm going to replicate the mold myself. So when I say it's not a good mold, it's plastic, and the plastic molds just aren't very good, in my opinion. That is, maybe people disagree with me, but that's just the way it is. So I'm going to pour it in here first, halfway, shake it around, let it fill the detail there, and get the bubbles out. In we go. Okay, I'll fill it all the way up. It doesn't matter if it goes a little bit over the edge of the actual mold itself, because we can always file it off. I say file it off, yeah, because this stuff goes hard. So I'm gonna put my little hanger in there. That's my string. Now, because it's obviously not very heavy, so it doesn't require anything special or fancy. None of these are very heavy, but the hanger is obviously very functional. So don't forget your hangers when you're mixing these things. When you make these things, you pour it and then you realize no hanger. What are you going to do? Drill a hole in the back? It's not the same. Always make your hangers up first, I think. Okay. Now, I'm going to pour a green lady. Now, I sound like I'm rushed because this stuff sets pretty quickly. Half a mold, half a mold. This stuff sets pretty quickly, and we don't want to have to waste it. So what I'm doing is I'm pouring approximately half into each. I'm going to give it a shake, get the bubbles out, like that, yeah. Get the bubbles out, and to fill the details, I'm going to put my little hanger in there, bend it up. Same here, give it a shake, and a shake, and a shake. These are pretty detailed little molds, so we don't want bubbles in them. The bubbles will ruin them. Okay, so I'm going to put my hanger piece out. This is just wire. I think I found this in a skip, and I like to recycle. I like to recycle things, especially things that people are throwing out. There's too much waste in this world. Now, going back to my Crystical, keep it moving there, make sure it doesn't start hardening on me until I'm ready. This will harden completely in about 20 minutes, half an hour. You can see the consistency is fairly thick, and as such it'll dry very hard. Okay, in we go. It's splashing slightly out of the mold there. It doesn't matter. I can always file it. Okay, so just give it a tap. Fix our little hanging wire so it's in the center. Well, like people like to hang the center. Okay, so that's those few done. Just tap that. There's a bit of a lump in it. It's very difficult to get all the lumps out, and actually it starts to harden, lumps forming. Okay, so I'm going to do a raven skull. Pour that real quickly. Not so fastidious about taking the air bubbles out because this particular mold isn't very detailed. It's not a massive issue. We'll give it a tap anyway. Pour another one. Yeah, and that's, yeah, I think I've nearly just about run out there from that particular pour. Okay, so give the container a scrape. A bit of a scrape there. Okay, we'll pour the rest. Okay. So give it a tap. So we've got these ones poured. Now I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. It's one of them. That's the sun from that mold there. Now, as I said, I don't really like it. The mold is too thin. It's plastic, so it's not very flexible, but it's also too thin. And if you look at the top, I put a hanging hook in the back there. It's rusted. The problem with this is that the hanging hook in the thin mold can split the finished article. That's what it looks like, so it's quite nice. So I'm gonna probably recreate that mold. Now I'm just gonna see real quickly, do I have enough of this stuff left to do my final green lady? It's starting to go hard already. We'll try. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna put this phone down for 1 second. This video attempts are probably shockingly amateur. I haven't got the whole YouTube thing down pat yet, so this time of the year what I'm concentrating on is getting as much of this stuff made as I can, because in this workshop is no fun in the winter. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Keep going, yeah. Just shake. Okay, let's see if we can get this poured real quick. I'm going to scrape this container and spoon the stuff into it. Still, I've got a little while before it starts to harden properly. Okay. You can hear my cold is really kicking my ass. I was on holiday in Romania and it's one of the people I was staying with had a kid, and the kid was just sniveling, sneezing the whole time. As I get older, I think my immune system is getting weaker. So I brought this cold home with me for good measure. Okay, right, so that's perfect. I actually had enough in the container. Give it a shake. And I'm going to put my little hanging hook in there. Okay, so that's one small pour of the Crystical. A couple of green men and a couple of green women, green ladies. Okay, green sun and some raven skulls. Okay, great stuff.